Welcome to the Master Cars Pro channel. Today we'll talk about the problems and weaknesses of Nissan X-Trail. While the marketing types who came up with the Nissan X-Trail's name were clearly trying to emphasize the 7-seat SUV's 4-wheel drive capabilities, the reality of the matter is that the toughest terrain most X-Trails will ever face is the rock crawl up the curb in the local high street. That's because it's a road-biased, large SUV aimed at families who would like a bit of extra space and the additional versatility this type of car can provide. To that end, you can get the X-Trail with either 5 or 7 seats. Most examples you'll find for sale will have the 128 bhp 1.6-liter diesel engine, which has enough power to breeze you along at a leisurely pace and hang on to the coattails of motorway traffic. The more powerful 175 bhp 2.0-liter diesel has better low-end pulling power but wasn't as popular because it was expensive when new. The 161 bhp 1.6 petrol is the least recommendable engine, for it lacks the low down ground of the diesels, forcing you to rev it harder. A much sweeter 158 bhp 1.3 petrol arrived in 2019 that pulls well once on the more, and a lone 148 bhp 1.7 replaced the two previous diesel options in 2020. VGS spec cars come with all the basics such as air conditioning, 17-inch alloy wheels, and cruise control. Ascenta trims up the luxury levels to include dual-zone climate control from front and rear parking sensors and a panoramic glass roof. N-Tech adds sat-nav with a 6.5-inch infotainment screen and a 360 degrees camera system, larger 18-inch alloy wheels, and electric tailgate and sunroof rails. Top-of-the-range Tecna gets leather upholstery with heated seats from front and rear, plus an upgraded sound system and brighter LED headlights. Updates in late 2017 saw the N-Tech model renamed N-Connecta, and the infotainment screen size was increased to 7 inches. Ascenta Premium replaced Ascenta in 2019, adding to all important infotainment screen and 360 degrees camera system to this popular trim level. Soft suspension means the X-Trail leans heavily in corners, and while light steering makes it relaxing to drive around town, you do need lots of lock even for shallow corners. To be honest, the X-Trail feels somewhat behind the times, akin to an old-school SUV rather than the modern breed, which feel more like car-like to drive. The Kodiaq is certainly a nimble beast, as in the 5008. Even the Land Rover Discovery Sport grips harder and rolls less through corners, and the firm ride means you feel the bumps as they pass beneath you while you're shaking from side to side at lower speeds. The ride does settle a little the faster you go, though, so on the motorway you'll be fine. A reasonably sleek 6-speed manual comes as standard on most models, although a noisy CVT auto option was available. The newer 1.3 petrol only comes with a 7-speed dual-clutch auto that can be a touch hesitant from a standstill. The X-Trail's interior materials have a quality feel to them due to the use of soft touch plastics throughout. It'd be a little gloomy inside though, thanks to the rather sombre color choices. Things can be brightened up a little with a panoramic glass roof. But we have to advise caution here, as it robs a bit of headroom, even for those in the middle row. If you're looking at a 7-seat X-Trail, the rearmost seats can be made to fold completely flat, which is very helpful if you need to load longer items into the back in the back of the car. It's worth nothing that if you choose this configuration, the third row seats are a little on the small side and will require you to slide the middle row forward if you need to fit people with legs of any significance into them. With the seats down, rivals such as the Kia Sorento have bigger booths with the second row still in place, which means the X-Trail might not be ideal if you want to carry 5 people and their luggage at the same time. If you're interested in finding a used X-Trail or any of the other large SUVs mentioned here, head over to the used car buying pages to find lots of cars listed for sale at a great price. The 1.6 DCI can be had with front wheel drive to aid running costs too. And in this form, its combined NEDC fuel consumption is 57.6 mpg. Getting one with 4-wheel drive does drop that figure to 52.3 mpg. The 1.6 petrol isn't so frugal at 44.1 mpg, but these models still compare well with petrol-powered rivals, while the 2.0 liter diesel X-Trail have an official combined figure of 50.4 mpg. The newer 1.3 petrol and 1.7 diesel engines were tested under the more stringent WLTP test and appear to get much worse figures at 38.5 mpg and 47.5 mpg respectively. But you're at least much more likely to achieve this in the real world. This only applies to the engines available before 1st April 2017 because the tax system at the time was based on CO2 emissions of the 3 engines available. The 1.6 diesel had the lowest emissions of 129 grams per kilometer, 138 grams per kilometer with 4-wheel drive, while the bigger 2.0 diesel emits 149 grams per kilometer, 158 grams per kilometer as a 4-wheel drive auto. The petrol 1.6 puts out 149 grams per kilometer. It's worth noting that if you are looking to buy an X-Trail registered after 1st April 2017, you'll have to pay the flat rate fee. Any example registered before this date will in some cases pay less than this, depending upon the amount of CO2 the engine produces. See above paragraph. To find more about the current road task costs, click here for further information. Depending upon whether you have a petrol or a diesel X-Trail, you'll pay either £229 or £269 for a minor service, or £309 or £369 for a major one at a Nissan dealer. You'll get 1 year's worth of RAC UK and European breakdown cover and roadside assistance as part of the cost, which suggests taking a look underneath any X-Trail, because there's the possibility it could have been damaged by some off-road driving, however remote possibility that might be. Also check the owner lower edges of the bumpers for scrapes and cracks from any road off-road use. Also, the X-Trail is aimed at families, which might mean that the interior has seen some action. It's all pretty well screwed together, but it's always worth checking for broken interior plastic pieces, stains on the seats, and wear on the upholstery. The gas struts that hold up the tailgate when it's open can corrode and eventually crack on some examples made between 1st April 2014 and 25 December 2015. Find out if this recall is still outstanding on your X-Trail, lest you end up with the tailgate falling on your head. A problem has been found with one of the oxygen sensors in the exhaust system on examples manufactured between 10th April 2015 and 7th June 2016. The driver may not be made immediately aware of the issue, so software update will also need to be performed at the dealership as part of the fix. According to our latest reliability survey, the news here isn't great. Nissan as a whole ranked 27th out of the 31 manufacturers included. The X-Trail second from bottom in the 21st place out of the 22 large SUVs surveyed, beating the Land Rover Discovery Sport, but falling behind the Hyundai Santa Fe and Kia Sorento. If you would like to see the full reliability list for large SUVs, head to the What Car Reliability Survey pages for more information. When it comes to choosing which engine is best for getting the Nissan X-Trail moving, stick with the 1.6 DCI. While it can feel a bit underpowered with 7 on board, it's the most popular unit by far, and in manual front-wheel drive form, the most economical. The manual version also tows better than the CVT Auto versions. In case you wish to lug around a caravan, the 1.7 diesel didn't arrive until later in this car's life, so there are fewer available used. If you need to go petrol, it's mostly a case of going for the 1.6 DIGT or nothing, because the 1.3 DIGT didn't arrive until 2020. At least the 1.6 is rather more refined than the diesel. We reckon you may as well stick with the Santa, because it's still decently equipped and rides better due to its smaller alloy wheels. The Land Rover Discovery Sport is the 7-seat SUV with hatchet from the welly boot set to the School Run Army. The Land Rover badge holds much more weight than that of a Nissan. It backs that up with a smart interior and tidy handling, but prices are much higher than those of the X-Trail. If you need a big SUV with space aplenty for passengers and luggage, to look towards the Kia Sorento and Hyundai Santa Fe. Their larger diesel engines aren't as frugal as the ones in the X-Trail, but they do cope better with heavy loads, the Kia being the more comfortable of the two. Well, if you are the owner of this car, then please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your feedback that'll help viewers when choosing a car. That's it for today. Thanks everyone for attention. It isn't much work for you to subscribe to the channel. See you soon.